It's kind of like obviously a lot of what's going on in Ukraine at the moment, and to be fair, that situation is fucked. And like my heart's out to all the people in Ukraine. That I've seen some really really bad footage of that.
Drama gets more attention.
It does. It's not even drama. It's negativity, because you could have, I don't know, 100 people recovered from lung cancer this week. Yay! And then that lasts like 5 minutes. Boom. Kiev's been blown up by 5 Russian missiles. What the fuck, brother? And that gets all the headlines. And it's so much of our society is so focused on so much negativity. And I don't know why that is. Like, do you have anything to say about that?
I mean, it is negative, I guess, but like, it's only negative because like it kind of affects us because of the gas. Yeah. Like we have to suffer from it, but like I don't know if you heard, like Saudi Arabia's invaded like Yemen, and that's not even they're not even like talking about it one bit. But I guess like Russia's a bigger powerhouse, and like they could fuck us up.
They actually could, because they were talking about how Putin is saying if the West keep getting involved, they might threaten us with nukes.
Yeah, it's just a fear factor, really, because they know like once one goes off, like
it's the end of the world. No, as soon as the first nation launches the first nuke, it is the end of the world. I've always said this. Okay, a bit deeper, going down the rabbit hole a little bit. I believe humanity can go one of two ways, right? So either we're gonna blow ourselves up in World War III in nuclear war, or we're going to have a golden age where we then obviously revolutionize the planet, have like, clean energy and that. And then we start going out into space, like, how Elon Musk wants to go to Mars and all that. We're going to start colonizing bits of the solar system. And eventually we're going to be a spacefaring civilization. It's going to be one of the two. It's going to be one of the two completely.
It's the great filter.
The great filter. That's a really good topic, actually. Because explain the great filter, because I know what it is, but I feel a lot of people probably won't.
I can kind of explain it. It's like, isn't it when like humanity has like some sort of filter where like it's kind of stopping them from like progressing, so like they are gonna get extinct.
Kind of. It's not just specifically for humanity. So scientists have come up with this theory of the great filter, where it's what obstacles does life, so as in just life in general on any fucking planet in the universe, what obstacle does life need to get over to exist? So for example, obviously when the earth was created and it was being bombarded by meteorites and all that shit, and then it was just volcanoes everywhere and all that crap, and eventually it cooled down, and the oceans formed, and then obviously the microorganisms began, and then that turned into fish, and then the fish started going onto land and became mammals and monkeys, and then and now it's me and you sitting in a fucking room in Birmingham chatting absolute wass. So it evolved over a period of time. So obviously there had to be loads of obstacles for life to get over to get to this point. So the planet needed to be a certain away from the sun, because if it was too close it would burn like Mercury, but if it was too far away it would be a cold, it'd be too cold for life. There had to be liquid water, there had to be a right, what's it called, had to be the right like gases in the atmosphere, so the life forms could breathe. And then it's kind of like as more advanced you get, there's more obstacles. So they were saying, why is there no life in the universe? Potentially there could be a filter where, life gets to a point where it gets so advanced that they just end themselves.
Yeah.
Because
like AI or whatever.
Literally like nuclear war
this
or
podcast.
This fucking podcast, man. Yeah, literally. So, and there was an interesting video saying like, one of the filters could be, life gets too advanced and they get to a point where they say, if we press this button, we will get unlimited energy and everything will be sweet. They press it and then the planet blows up. And maybe that's the reason why we haven't seen life out and about. But I disagree. I think aliens, without a doubt, exist.
That's going to be a bad thing, though, if aliens does exist.
Why do you think that?
Just because if there are, they're going to be way more advanced than us.
Yeah. But I think aliens potentially are here already, or out and about, or the government know aliens are around, because have you seen obviously the UFOs and that on the Pentagon?
Yeah, but what, the unclassified?
Yeah, the Pentagon declassified.
Well, they must have a reason to like show them. I think people starting to believe like they are real, but
because
there's a deeper meaning why they showed that.
You reckon?
Was it to like make people look crazy?
Maybe.
I'd be like, oh, aliens are real, blah blah blah.
Maybe a little bit, but like, I think maybe it's again going back to mainstream media, kind of distracting people for maybe a bit of a more nefarious, kind of deeper, not so good motive or an agenda.
I think it's bad that we discover aliens because, like, if you think, like, if you know what a type 1, 2, and 3 civilization is,
the Kardashev scale.
yeah.
I like that theory. I like that theory a lot, actually. Do you want to explain the Kardashev scale?
I'll explain it. Yeah, so like, basically, there's like these civilizations, and a type 1 civilization is when you can harvest like all the resources in your planet and use it as energy. Yeah, and we're not even a type 1.
We're like type 0.71, something like that, some shit like that.
Yeah, something like that. So we're very primitive.
Yeah.
And a type 2 one is like you can harvest like other planets and like your home star.
Yeah.
For energy. And then like a type 3 is like
your entire galaxy.
Yeah, and
which is actually fucking perplexing.
So it's basically like God level. And so if there's like a type 1 civilization or like a type 2, like aliens could just look at us and be like, oh, okay, this is cute. Like you got like buildings and like all these resources, and they're just gonna harvest us and like look at us like I don't know, like ant.
There's this Japanese scientist, and he said something really profound, and it really kind of hit me. And he was like, when you're walking along, obviously on your day-to-day business, and you see an anthill, like ants going in an anthill, you don't stop and offer all your technology and all your wisdom to the ants, do you?
No, you just walk past them. You just look at them like, oh.
You either walk past them, or you look at them, or you just, sometimes you might even just accidentally kick the anthill. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Or you do the ant bully, and like, have you seen that film?
Yeah, the fucking ant movie where the guy he gets miniaturized and he goes into the ant world.
Puts like water on them, and then like just like
yeah. Well, but that's what I mean. So if aliens existed, they have the technology to come here, they are so far beyond comprehension. Like we are literally, they would be gods to us. Like, do you know what I mean? Like on a level, like there is just nothing we could do at all. So.
Yeah, the one thing that does concern me is if Bob Lazar was actually telling the truth.
Bob Lazar? What did Bob Lazar say?
So basically, he supposed that he worked at Area 51.
Was he on Joe Rogan's podcast? Yeah. I think I have seen
and he apparently worked on advanced propulsion systems, and all the information was compartmentalized.
Yeah.
But like I don't know if there's a possibility or not. But if he's not lying, then we're fucked.
But that's what I mean, and Bob Lazar didn't really strike me as an insane person. Do you know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't be saying those sort of things unless he meant it, or unless he was some deep clout chaser. But I really highly doubt that, especially if he worked at Area 51 when he worked with like high government officials and all that sort of stuff. So, I think these people, they have to be talking some sense, and it's too ignorant, if that's the right word, to just dismiss that. Oh yeah, that doesn't exist, rah, rah, rah. Because I think people live too much in a 3D world of like, I go to work, I go to school, I do this is my life,
and I watch football, and they
watch football, and that's what I mean. And then as soon as you,
football's alright, football's not bad.
yeah, football's calm. But if you come along and you destroy their, like, what's the word, perception of reality, it creates chaos because people get scared of the unknown.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? If you start telling them, aliens are real, there's actually an entire galactic federation of different planets from different galaxies, and the high level government officials of Earth, they go to talk to these other aliens. People would go nuts. You know what I mean? They'd be like, what the fuck?
We all question like religion and stuff like that, and then.
But that's exactly why I think they wouldn't bring it to mainstream media, straight. But that's exactly also why I think they declassified some of these things from the Pentagon, because if they slowly drip feed it into mainstream media, you kind of, it's in your subconscious, right?
Yeah.
And then you slowly get accustomed to it. So then, boom, when they say, yeah, aliens are real. It's like, oh yeah, you've been kind of showing us, UFOs flying around and all this bollocks.
There's a reason why they showed it. It's we admit it.
Because if they just suddenly dropped, yeah, aliens are real. We've actually been dealing with them for the past 100 years, 50 years, and we have loads of mad technology, bro. People would go nuts. People would go absolutely crazy. And obviously, at the end of the day, I think everything is control. If you agree with me, I think everything is kind of control and how they want to keep people contained like sheep.
If you think of like the pyramids, like that's literally right at the center of the earth, and
it's
like,
aligned with Orion's belt within like.
It's so precise. Like,
and
do
it's
you know
like
what I mean?
in line with like the
Constellations,
the stars or whatever.
But do you not think that is really mad? Because how could they have built the pyramid so precisely they had bronze tools
out of limestone
and cutting that as well. It's all aligned. And not even just that, in the hieroglyphics, obviously the Egyptians had the hieroglyphics, all the pictures of the fucking different gods with the dog heads and all that. A sect. I don't know their fucking names. Someone in the comments correct me. But apparently in a lot of their hieroglyphics, they had people coming from the sky. They had like objects coming from the sky.
They don't just do that randomly. They do it because they saw whatever they saw. And they're just doing that to like, show what they saw.
So this is what I'm saying, and it is. I definitely think the Egyptians were extremely advanced.
If you have an open mind. Like a lot of people are closed-minded.
But I think people should have open minds because I believe reality is way more madder than fiction.
Yeah.
Because if you truly like deep the scale of the universe and everything, life and everything, it is way more mad than fiction. And where do you think a lot of these film creators and all stuff get their ideas from?
Yeah, they must get some imagination. They can't just think of it out of their head. They must have seen, not seen, but they've seen like or heard some sort of story.
Had to completely, and that's kind of what I'm saying. So yeah. But anyway, Jacob, I think we are going to wrap up here because we've spoken a bit too much, and I think we're going to start to really panic some of the audience. So it's been good having you on the podcast. I think we'd like to have you back again. Hopefully we can see how you're doing with your crypto portfolio in the next sort of year or so. And maybe you could...
I will reveal everything.
He will reveal everything. So stay tuned to Matchbox. We got some content on the way. Lots of valuable and bits of... I don't know what I'm trying to say, but stay tuned, but we'll see you again. Goodbye. Contest, you're listening to the best. I ain't an average rapper, so I say that with chest. I'm stuck on time, 1-5 to make it rhyme. These are the words and the lyrics on the top of my mind. I'm coming high and mighty with a flavor so spicy. I'm making my dough, I'm making my pee. Now we're aiming for the top, now the top you see.